So today is all about questions that you sent me. Got some via email, and I'm sure there's going to be some down here in the messages. So I hope you've all really enjoyed the last 4 days of the training. It's been phenomenal. I've been having some lovely messages from people. So let's start off with some questions, right? But I've got a question for you first. Before I answer your questions, I want to ask you a question. Now, the kids are going back to school for a new term, right? Now, what does your new term look like? Have you thought about your new term? Are you going to educate yourselves? Like we send out, if you've got kids, we send our kids to school to learn new things, to progress, to improve. Are you starting a new term? Think about it. Why is it like we get into adulthood and we stop re-enrolling, right? We stop going into that next year. Why is that? We've got to keep on learning. We've got to learn new skills, develop new positive habits, and keep on moving, because if we're not moving forwards, we're moving backwards. We don't stand still. There's either you're going forwards or you're going backwards. So I'm just going to be on my phone, right? Just watching your comments, reading some of your comments, right? So yeah, learning steps. Somebody says learning steps. So here's the thing. Here's one thing that I found is that we have to keep on moving forward in life if you want to create something. If we want to create wealth, more success, we can't do what we've been doing throughout. And I covered that this week. So yesterday was all about millionaire decisions, right? Millionaires' decisions, how millionaires make their decisions. So let me just tell you a little bit about my background. Now, for many, many years, I used to really struggle. I used to hate myself. I used to really hate the results I was getting. I used to hate everything about me. Now, somebody looking from the outside would say, well, Mindy, really, they wouldn't know all this is going on. But I felt so frustrated. I felt like I was letting myself down. I was letting my family down. I was letting everybody down because I wasn't progressing. I wasn't growing. And I had to really live through kind of hell. It was horrible. I'd see other people create massive success, doing great things, moving on in life, and I was still kind of stuck. And I didn't have it easy. Okay, I didn't have it easy. I wasn't born with a wealthy family, right? I wanted things in my life growing up. I remember from a very young age, one of the things I used into my cars, one of the things I used to say to myself, why can't my dad come and pick me up in a Ferrari, outside the school? Why can't my dad pick me up? And I used to feel so frustrated because I knew that there was wealth out there. I knew people were living that lifestyle that I wanted to achieve. And I was just so frustrated. I thought, you know what, when I have kids, I'm going to learn something different. I've got to find a way. And this is at a young age, just about 9 years old then. I was thinking like this at the age of 9. I was like, when I have kids, I'm going to make sure that I'm loaded, I'm wealthy, and I'm going to make sure that I can do X, Y, and Z. And that kind of drove me at a young age. I was very curious as how the world works. I just knew that there must be some power out there. Who can relate to me? Who knows there's some kind of power out there and you just want to find it and tap into it? Is that you? If that's you, put me in there. Me, you, me. If that's you and you can feel that there's some power out there, you know it's there, but you don't have access to it, or you don't know how to activate it. So that's how I felt. And I knew there must be a system. I knew there must be some formula that people follow. I knew there must be some magic out there. That there's some sort of a system or a process or some kind of a hidden power that I can tap into. Because at a very young age, I didn't believe that I was alone in this universe. I knew there was something bigger. Even at that young age, I knew there was some magical powers that we can have, like Superman. I knew that there must be, even though I can't get the red cape and fly, but I knew there must be something out there, some kind of a formless substance that we spoke about. And I used to love reading rags to riches stories, right? Rags to riches. Why? Because who buys rags to riches stories? I was told by a very good friend of mine, only poor people buy rags to riches stories because they are where they are and they want to see is this possible for me? Is a millionaire's lifestyle possible for me? Can it happen for me? And look, we all want to have conversations of encouragement, right? We always want someone to nudge us along, say, yes, it's going to be fine. You can make it happen. But in reality, the honest truth is that unless you do something yourself, nothing's going to come to you and kind of work itself out because it's a work in progress. So we have to work through this. We have to like find a way. Like some of the questions I get asked, like Mindy, like, you know, like, how was it like growing up? You know, you must have like had business around you, people around you. I didn't have anybody around me. I had to like really fail my way. I didn't have anybody I can turn to for advice, business advice. So I had to try to figure it out on my own, and it was a very lonely place. So now, if looking back, I'm like 43 now, right? And I started my first business when I was actually 16 years old. My first real successful business at the age of 19. So, you know, people say you must have had people around you and you must have had support and guidance. You're lucky. Well, I wasn't lucky because I didn't have anybody in my family that run a business. I didn't have access to any knowledge, anybody who can guide me. So I had to figure it out myself. So I'd buy stock, try to sell stock, lose money, feel crap, get into debt, same cycle over and over again. But I had something inside of me which is called like persistence, that never give up. I just had something inside of me that wanted me to keep on going. I didn't know when to stop, when to quit. I didn't have no quit in me. I'd have quit in me to say like change, go do something else. But I didn't want to quit. I didn't want to hang up my gloves and say enough's enough. I can't do this anymore. Now I had to dig deep. I had to like ask myself some serious questions like, are you gonna stay where you are? Or are you gonna progress? Are you gonna move on? Find a smarter group of people. And that's one thing I had to do. So any bit of money that I got, I would like accumulate a little bit of money and I would invest that back into myself. And I would literally have like, there might be like £1,000 in my account and I'm going to blow £1,000, not blow, but I'm going to get rid of that £1,000 and I'm going to buy a course or do something with that £1,000. I was happy having nothing in there because I just wanted to learn, I wanted to grow. So I put myself out there. That's a big difference between myself and other people I see that failed. Because I was willing to bet. You know that phrase, are you willing to bet your last dollar on yourself? And I was. And it didn't make sense to people that I was, you know, buying all of these courses, going on these like ventures all around the world and seminars and stuff, and I had nothing to show for it. And at that time, I had no physical results to show for it. But I knew that I was working towards building a bigger version of me. I was believing that there must be something out there. I'm working with like Bob Proctor, these amazing people. If I follow and listen to everything he tells me to do, I knew that I was going to have a breakthrough. I didn't know when it was going to come. Did I doubt myself? I doubted myself, yeah, but I learned to build faith. I learned to do that. So now I'm not hesitant at investing money in myself. I know that the moment I invest money in myself, I'm going to grow, so is my bank, so are my clients' results. As I grow, we all grow. So I'm always betting on myself. So I found the system, thinking into results. When I first got this amazing product, this amazing program, as they call it product, but this amazing coaching program, I did nothing with it for the first few weeks. And I'm like, no, you've just invested all this money and you're not doing nothing. Again, your old habits. So I made a decision. Why don't I just pick this magical material up and do what Bob tells me to? Because I was so sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired. My life wasn't going anywhere and I wasn't getting any younger. I was getting poorer. So I made a decision to just dive deep in. I used to hate studying intellectual stuff. I used to hate. Never read a book after I left school. And I was just not interested in studying. But I knew that I had to do something different in order to make my life different. The difference is most people are happy doing the same thing over and over again. And they're not happy with the results they're getting, but they keep on doing what's not working. And I just knew that there's something wrong with that methodology, right? So why the heck would I want to keep on doing what I'm doing and keep on getting the results that I don't want and yet keep on doing what I'm keep on doing? And I'm like, there's something wrong with that. That doesn't add up. You know, it's like I kind of calculated it. I've done some analyze myself and I thought, you're just being stupid now. You got to change gears. You got to up your gear. And that's what I did. And I just made a decision one day that, you know what, I'm going to cut my ties with my old version. I'm going to go all out on my dreams. Now, I had some scary moments. I was crazy amounts of debt. I remember once I got locked up for 2 nights in a police cell. I'm telling you this because I'm straight up. I got into a bit of trouble, got locked up for 2 days in a police cell. And all I could hear, people next to me in the cells next to me, that you're going court in the morning, going court in the morning. And what I did wasn't, it just something happened, right? I don't want to go into detail, but it wasn't stealing or anything like that. It was got into a fight. And so I got locked up. And I'm sitting there, all my freedom's been taken away from me. Like, I'm like, how can I be walking down the street 1 minute just minding my own business, and then this happens and I end up in here? And that was so scary, because I thought, you know what, all of my dreams have been shattered because of one stupid action. And I remember that all the fear, the regret, because for now I was actually in a real prison, like in a, not a prison, but in a cell. But all of my life I've been walking around in my own mental cell, which I could have escaped if I wanted to. Now somebody else has the keys to this cell that I was in, and I couldn't bypass that. I couldn't get out of that cell because there was a process. Okay, I couldn't escape that. But I had the keys to get me out of my own cell that I was living in for so many years. And so I decided, you know what, I've got the keys. I just need to figure out a couple of moves here and there, get some information, get some digits, line them up, change a combination, and boom, I'm out. And that's what happened when I unlocked my own mind. So you have the keys to your own mind that you don't have the code, but you've got the lock. You don't have the code, and I've got that code for you. I'm going to give that to you if you want it. So let's look at some of these questions, right? So here's some of the questions. Mindy, can you share some of your struggles you have experienced in your career? Well, every day used to be a struggle for me, waking up feeling shit about myself, feeling like I'm a complete failure. A biggest struggle of mine was like telling myself that I'm going to be a millionaire, telling myself I'm going to be wealthy, telling myself I'm going to be successful, when I wasn't doing the things that successful people done. And I was doing the same things over and over again. So that was a big struggle for me, because I just didn't know what to do. I didn't know which way to turn, who to ask. And that will change with like working with Bob and getting coached and doing what I'm doing. Do I get live coaching sessions with you once I roll? Like I said, we have like all the sessions are live coaching calls, right? So do I get any live coaching sessions once I enroll? Yeah, all the coaching sessions are live that we have on the live calls. So I hope that answers your question. You mentioned that I can't change my subconscious program on my own. Can you please elaborate why? I'm pretty certain I can do it on my own. I know what I need to do. Here's the thing now. If you know you can shift it on your own, you'd already be doing it. If you really believed that you can shift your subconscious program on your own, you're ready to be doing it. But here's the thing. This is the one thing that's controlling all of your decisions that you're making, and this is habitual. You go into your default setting. So no matter how hard you try, unless you reprogram your subconscious mind, it's not going to happen. Now there's only two known ways to unlock to reprogram your subconscious mind, the paradigms. One is through an emotional impact, which is something negative happening. This could be a death of a loved one, a loss of a relationship, something really serious. And most often, that emotional impact gets you going the other way. It will just like spin your head around. Very rare that that's a positive outcome from that. And the only other known way is through spaced repetition coaching, elite level coaching, which is what I do with my clients over a period of time. Because your subconscious mind wasn't programmed overnight, and it's not going to change overnight. It's a bit like a brain surgeon, right? It's like a brain surgeon trying to perform brain surgery on him or herself. It's just not going to happen. And I've tried that. I've read all the books under the sun on subconscious programming, done loads of meditations, you name it, NLP. I even hired a hypnotherapist that was, I'm not going to name his name. He was a celebrity hypnotherapist, can't even say it. And I paid him an awful lot of money, and nothing changed. Okay, so I know what I do works, because I've seen it work many, many times, over and over and over again. Okay, so tell me more about your program. Thinking into results, it's 6 months. It's a top coaching program that Bob offers. Now, there are other programs that are available, but they're like self-study. But this is the number one, the highest program that you'll get. And it's so powerful. There's nothing like this on the planet. Now, I've worked with multi-millionaire mentors in the past. And what this program gives with my coaching, it's like worlds apart of anything that I've ever seen. As you can probably be aware that I just believe in this totally 100%. And my clients will tell you the same, that it's so powerful. Okay, so you mentioned in the past it can't be forced. What does that... Okay, you mentioned in the past that it can't be forced, but how does someone's mindset is set so negatively change without force? I'm not sure I understand that question. You mentioned in the past that it can't be forced, but how does someone whose mindset is so negative change without force. It's hard to believe something. Well, okay, it's done through repetition. It's done by getting yourself a coach and following the advice of your coach and going through a process. Okay, so this is what we say by you can't do it on your own. You need the help, the support. Next question. I know you work with business owners, but could you help someone who's working for an employer and potentially could start their own business? Absolutely. Now, I will work with anybody that has desire and that's willing to put the work in and invest in themselves. So in fact, I had Rakesh. He was working for an employer and he didn't like the job he was doing. He couldn't stand it. And this young dude went out and now he's running his own accountancy practice. He's got over 28 employees. He's just relocated to bigger offices because he's flying. So he's got his own firm from being, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so how is your program different to the rest? Well, my program is different because we actually go down to the root cause of the behavior, the root problem of the behavior. It's like if you suffered with a bad back or sciatica and you go to the doctors and he or she gives you a load of pills like anti-inflammatories to bring the swelling down. But here's the thing, as soon as you come off the anti-inflammatories, guess what? The pain is still there, the problem still persists. Now, unless you have someone work on that particular area of your body, like a chiropractor, physiotherapist, you get proper treatment, that pain, that's always going to be there. So we've got the only program in the world that actually gets to the root cause of the problem, the paradigms. And we know how to do that. Now, there's nothing else like this on this planet. There isn't. I've done so much, and this is why some people get temporary results before they know it. They go back to their default state. But we actually shift it at the root cause. We go down to the root and rip out them unwanted behaviors, belief systems, and we actually rip them out and we plant some seeds like 100k months, right? So you get people that are at 1,000, 2,000 a month, and they believe just by positive thinking, knowing about the law of attraction, they're going to get to $1 million a month, and that's just ridiculous. I used to be one of them. I used to think that, you know, I can go from here without doing any elite level coaching, without changing the subconscious, and I'm going to earn 20,000. It just didn't happen, you know. Now it's a different story. Okay, I've had coaches in the past who told me to do strategies and I couldn't do them. How are you different? Here's the thing, going back to that first question. If you're not programmed for success, you can have the best strategies in the world and you won't get the results because you have your own beliefs that you work with. You're on your own vibration, you have your own subconscious beliefs. Now, I was working with somebody, this lady was phenomenal, and her clients were achieving ridiculous results like 200-300k plus a month, 400k plus. And I was following the exact same strategies as her clients were. And I was not getting anywhere near the result as they were. And it all came down to my own paradigms, my own programs. Now, how can this be? You have two people, okay? One person's flying at the business and the other one isn't. But they're using the same structure, the same strategy, the same marketing person, done for you service. And yet, the results don't match. And mine were way different. But now it's a different story now because I understand that strategy isn't the problem. You know, people try to fix something on the outside without fixing what's on the inside. It's the inside that changes the outside. Okay, so yeah, I've had many coaches before. I met Bob. And again, they don't get to the root cause of the problem, and we do. So I'm currently doing Bob Proctor's self-study course, and to be honest, it's not going great. I'm finding myself dropping off. It's not clicking for me. Any tips? Well, it sounds like you need more accountability and you need like live coaching. Now, I've done that Bob Proctor self-study course and I've been through that journey. But this journey here with Thinking to Results, having a live coach to check in on you, giving you the advice and being in that live coaching, this is a whole different ball game compared to what you're talking about there. This is like the top what we teach. So I've applied for a call and I hope to speak to you. You inspire me. Sorry if this is not a question. That's fine. Thank you very much, whoever that's from. Rakesh is in the chat. Here he goes. You helped me. This is the chap I was talking about. He's in the chat there. I'm here. Now, Rakesh has done a fantastic job. We're working together for the third time now. Third time, right? And he was a chap that was working for an employer. I've done an interview with him, by the way. You want to check that out. And he was working in a job that he couldn't stand. And he knew he was facing fear. He hated what he's doing. And he took action. He took my advice and he's got a phenomenal company which is turning over a lot of money, big money, right? And he's done that within, I don't know, 14 months perhaps, but he made that transition within like I don't know, a couple of months maybe. Okay. Do I have any kids? Yes, I do. I have two. I have a 10-year-old son and a 9-year-old daughter. That sounds kind of desperate because they're so close together, right? Yeah, my son's going to be nearly 11. My daughter just turned 9, right? So yeah, I do. Naden and Denisha. The son's older. Okay, and how did you manifest working with Bob? I love him. Well, you know what? I made a decision that I was going to work with Bob, and I did what I was asked to do by Bob. That's how I ended up working with Bob. I had a dream. It wasn't one of those kind of like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it's not meant to be. For me, I actually, when I first watched the movie The Secret, I just knew that I was going to be in Bob's house. I just see me at Bob's house. I just knew that it's going to happen. And this, I think this was going back 2016. I ended up in Bob's house all the way in Canada. Late at night, there was like, I'd been there for an event and stuff, but at the end of the day, there's only like 5 of us in his house. There's myself, Bob Proctor, Bob's son, Bob's daughter-in-law now, and somebody else, can't remember who that was. And it was just like 5 of us in the evening. This was about 12 o'clock, and I was pinching myself. I'm in Bob Proctor's house, and he had his Christmas tree up and that, and I'm like, I'm in Bob Proctor's house with him and his family. I'm here, just like 4 or 5 of us. I'm actually here. I could not believe it, and I took a little sneaky a photo which I've got on my phone, and I was like, wow. So you know what? Nothing surprises me anymore. Okay. I need your help with marketing strategies. I've tried many different ones, and nothing's working. Well, it's not the strategy that's the problem. Now you can see Paula's interview. Paula, she's one of my clients. Amazing, amazing lady. Now she had coaches before she met me, and she said to me, Mindy, I want you to teach me strategy. Now she was already working with people that were earning like crazy money, like people in the industry. They were earning up to 40, 50, 80,000 a month, and she was implementing the same strategy. So I said to Paula, it's not your strategy, is not the problem. She goes, but I need strategy. I said, I'm going to show you how to do this. She trusted me, and she took off like a rocket, implementing the same strategies that were not working for her previously. Then she began enrolling clients, and now she's actually got a team that works for her. It's just like a spread global team she's got now. And again, we've been working together for the 3rd time now. So it's not a strategy. I believed it was strategy. I spent a fortune on strategy, but it's not the strategy, it's not the marketing. If you've got a shit mindset, if you're programmed for like failure, if you're programmed to be poor, if you're programmed to earn 2,000 a month, guess what? No strategy in the world is going to help you get to that 100k, because it's impossible, because the strategy doesn't shift your vibration. This is where people go wrong. This is where people go spend a fortune on marketing when the money they should be investing firstly is in themselves. You can't make a strategy work if you're not programmed to earn the level of income that you want to. It just doesn't work. And this is what even marketing people don't understand. I used to be a big believer. I had my own marketing company, but I see that. Right? So the marketing isn't the issue. The advertising isn't the issue. Do you offer one-to-one coaching? Yeah, I do offer one-to-one coaching, but that's only for a certain level of clients. So they've got to be at a certain level already before I work with them on a one-to-one. Rakesh is one of those who I'm working one-to-one with. We've got Peter here. We've got a few others here that I'm working one-to-one with. So yeah, we've got to be at a certain level. Okay, so that is possible. So how do my paradigms control my income? I'm on 50,000 a year, and I've been on this amount for 4 years. So you have your thermostat. You're programmed to earn that money. Your perception. That's where you're programmed. So so it's just like the control system. It's like on your heating at home, you have a thermostat. And unless you change that thermostat, the heating's going to stay the same. No matter how much you get on your knees and pray for some heat and rub your hands. Yeah, that's it. So what qualities do your clients need to have in order for you to work with them? The number one thing, the key thing is that you need to have desire. You've got to have desire. You've got to really want what you want. And you've got to be willing to go all out for it and make it happen regardless of what's happening. So you've got to... One thing I won't work with is somebody that's got a million excuses why they can't do it. So I'm only really interested in helping people who I know that will be coachable. So you've got to be coachable. So that's the number one rule. You've got to be coachable. You've got to have desire. You've got to be coachable. And you've got to be willing to invest some money into yourself, right? And some time. I get this one a lot, I do. You mentioned you don't call yourself a motivational speaker. Yeah. Why is that? Well, motivation doesn't last. Motivation is very temporary. It just doesn't last. This is why motivational speakers will always be in business, because people always need motivation. People always need a pick-me-up. Now, it's your paradigms that control your level of motivation. Now, if you're programmed to get a certain amount of results, someone can put some like motivational speeches on there. You can watch a training like this, get fired up, get motivated, listen to a song that fires you up. And that's temporary, right? That raises your vibration temporarily, gets you all pumped up, the blood's flowing through your veins, and you're like, yeah, I'm ready to take on the world. But within a very short space of time, you're back, you're dipped. And that cycle just goes round and round again. You'll see another training, you go watch some more motivational videos, you'll watch The Secret again, and you'll read another book, you'll get another book, somebody will suggest something to you, read a motivational quote, and you're like, yes, I'm back on it. But before you know it, the drug's worn off, and you need another fix. But the thing is, we show you how to not to rely on the fix. We show you how to fix your shit at the subconscious level. Okay? So, what do you think? What do you think to how COVID has impacted the economy? Well, the thing is, there's going to be like, anything that goes on in the world, right? Any dip, like, people make money, people lose money. Now, most people go into retreat because they panic. But there's always an opportunity, like Andrew Carnegie said, in every adversity, there's an equal amount of opportunity. And I remember during COVID, my business like shot through the roof. I know other people, like Rakesh, he's another guy. Rakesh, he shared this. He said he landed his biggest paying client within 24 hours of working with me. And that was during COVID, at the height of COVID. Whilst other people in his industry were struggling. But he was winning because he was on a different mindset. He was working with different information, so he was attracting good into his life. Whilst other people are speaking to at the same time, same industry, oh, Mindy, I'm losing so many clients, I'm doing this and that, and that's happened. That's well. How can one person land his biggest paying client whilst other people are losing theirs? It's all to do with the vibration he's in, the beliefs, right? I've been exploring the idea of getting one of Bob Proctor's self-study courses. How is this different from yours? Now, look, Bob Proctor's study courses is phenomenal. Now, it all depends how fast, how quick you want your results. Now, if you're highly disciplined, all right, you're highly disciplined and you feel like you can do it on your own, give it a go. But if you want phenomenal results, if you want them 100k months, you need that live coaching. You can't replace this live coaching that we do. This is the coaching I offer. It's for people that don't want to make minuscule amounts of money. This is for like people who want them, 20,000s, 100,000s a month. It's for them. If you want real results, I strongly encourage you to like hook up with me and let's get you on it. How many group calls do you do per week? And are they on Zoom? So I've got a number of different people that I work with. I've got couple of different groups that I work with as well. So they are on Zoom. So it depends on which group I put you in. I've done online courses, had coaches before. How do I know this will work? How do you know there's oxygen in the air that is going in your lungs? How do you know? How do you know that you're going to get up and be able to walk again like you did yesterday? How do you know? Because we work with universal law. This isn't theory. We work with universal law. Like, if I drop this mug, which I don't want to because I got it from New York a long time ago, it means a lot to me. If I drop this, let it go. It's going to drop and hopefully it won't break. But the coffee's going to go out everywhere. We know that's a fact. Now, how do I know this coaching will work? Because it's a lawful process. We do things by law. Like in Science of Getting Rich, Bottle says you don't get rich by doing certain things. You get rich by doing things in a certain way. Okay, and this works by law. This is why my success rate with my clients is super high. Okay, so my partner's holding me back and telling me not to go for it. How do I come over this? Well, you say to your partner, are you happy with the way that we're living our life? Are you happy with our bank balance? If you can say yes, and we don't need more in our lives, we don't want a bigger house, we don't want a big car, we've got everything we need, I won't do it. But on the other hand, if you would like a better life for yourself, your family, your children, you would like to live with time and money freedom, you would like to have your own choices, and you would like to have more time off whilst you're growing your business, you're growing your income, then let's do it. But if your partner is happy staying as you are, and you're living a wonderful life, you don't need to do this. It's only for people that really want to improve, all right, and really want good things. I hope that answers. That's quite. That's a good question. Very good question. That's a common question. I want to grow, but I'm so scared of leaving my comfort zone. Here's the thing. Truth bomb time. If you stay in your comfort zone, you are not growing, you're dying, you're going backwards. So I would be more scared of staying in the comfort zone than going into the unknown, where there could be like so much more better things coming your way, like a more lavish lifestyle, more choices, more money, more freedom to do what you want when you want. How do I deal with a very negative partner who doesn't share the same dreams and aspirations I do and constantly brings me down? Well, here's one thing that I learned from Bob. You can't let anybody bring you down without your permission. Unless you hand your power over and you give them control, no one can bring you down. They can't. So you have a negative partner. Now you've got to understand, you're not your partner. Your partner is working with their own paradigms, with their own belief systems. And your partner can't see what you want to do for themselves, maybe. So they just like see themselves in you, like, you know, I can't do it, so I don't believe he or she can. And so you don't allow that to bring you down. That's one of the things that we teach you how to do in our coaching. We show you how to not let the outside control you, how to be in control of you. And if you want to create a 100k month, if you want to create that 50k month, you've got to get good at doing this. You've got, again, we show you how to reprogram yourself to be solid. Nothing like it used to. Like, things used to piss me off all the time, getting to me, and I changed it. I changed my mindset. So I've completed my form to work with you. How long will it be before I get a response? So we've had, well, it should be fairly soon. We've got a lot of applications that we're going through. So just keep an eye on your inbox, your junk box, and that. So let me see if there's any more questions here. I'm going to scroll up onto my feed. Okay, so let's see. Okay, let me see. How many mentors have you had throughout your life? Well, I've probably paid mentors. I've probably worked with about 8 or 9 mentors, and like by far Bob's been just the best. Janie says those who take the risk win, and those who are petrified. Yeah, look, if you're scared, if you're scared, you're going to live in that same state. You'll never progress. You've got to face the fear. You've got to step out, because if it's not working your way, you're here for a reason. So you've got to say, look, Mindy's demonstrated that he knows what he's talking about. He's got clients that are smashing it. My way's not working. I'm kidding myself. I want to hold on to the money. I'm thinking I can't afford to do this, or what if it doesn't work? But what if it does work? What if you took action and you listened to what I told you to do and it worked for you? Now that's way better than having regrets. What if I did that on Mindy's training? What if I went ahead on the 3rd of September 2021 and I asked to work with Mindy and I applied? What if, like, in a year's time you can look back and you can look back at what you used to earn back then, how your life was, and it's worlds apart, and you're cranked, and you're like really cranked up. You're congratulating yourself, like, you know, I'm so glad I made that decision. Because I used to see money come into my bank account, but as soon as that came, I'd build it up so I can invest in myself. And I used to get it in just so I can get my mindset working, get more in, grow more. And I knew that if I keep on doing that with the right information, with the right people, I'm going to grow. I'm going to blow up my income. And that's exactly what happened, because I had to step out of my comfort zone. I could have brought like cars and all that sort of stuff, watches, flash stuff, buying champagne in like clubs and stuff, but I didn't do that because I wanted to grow. You have to step out, because this isn't a game. If you're here for a reason. It's not been working your way because you want to get to that next level, and your old paradigms start talking to you and they start saying, well, you don't need to do it, come on, you know what to do, you know about paradigms, you know about meditations and stuff, affirmations. Like Mike shared, he hit that 180k month, and he came onto one of my live trainings just like this, and he did nothing with it because he thought that he could figure it out, and he openly shared that with us. And he's a very upfront, straightforward guy, and he said he tried to figure it out on his own. 6 months later, he realized when he came back onto my next training that he had heard this all before, but he wasn't doing any of it. So he just said, he manned up and said, look, you know what, I just need to do it. What have I got to lose? And now look at where he is. This is what you got to have. If you want to become a champion at business, if you want to be successful, you have to take an element of risk, because there's a risk, a massive risk in staying as you are. There's a huge risk in doing things the way you've been doing them, especially if they're not working for you. That's a bigger risk than moving with a system that works. Okay, Mindy, what was that when you used to box? Professional, were you younger? Oh, when I got into trouble. Yeah, let's not go there. Okay, let me see if there's any other questions. How long does it take to change the subconscious mind? Now, that's a very good question. Now, with the right coaching, we can start to see shifts quite fast, right? It depends how deep your program is and what's going on in there. So, look, some people I help them within like 2 weeks. I have shifts with people, right? With the right coaching, with the right intensity, right? Some people it takes longer, but you have to do what we tell you to do to make them changes, right? So if you listen to my process, you follow what I tell you to do, I'll show you how to change your subconscious as long as you listen to me. And she says, Mindy, do your sessions include working on changing the negative mindset? Every session we're working on changing the negative mindset. Okay, so this is what mindset is, a commonly used term. It's quite a broad term, but we show you on how to actually change your mindset. Okay, so absolutely, Angela, we show you how to do that. We show you how to build a 7-figure mindset, just like this challenge suggests, because someone who has a 7-figure mindset has a 7-figure income. What do you think about that? So you can't create a 7-figure income before you create the mindset. You have to create the mindset first, right? So we lay down the foundation. So Angela, if you're really serious about getting on that level, I hope you've applied to work with me, and let's get on the call. Okay, what if my services products suck or demand has dried up? Now look, there's a law of compensation. So there's got to be a need for what you do, right? There's got to be a need for what you do. Now I can't go selling ice creams in the Sahara Desert because it's hot, but there's no one there. Then your ability to do what you're doing. Now, what's your ability like? How able are you to do what you're doing? And the difficulty there is in replacing you. Now, is it difficult to replace what you do? So that's the law of compensation. So is there a need for what you do, your ability to do it, and the difficulty there is in replacing you? So I hope you've applied for a call with me as well, so we can dive into that a bit more. A lot of the time, it's a vibrational thing. We have people that come to us they're not really doing much, got a fantastic product, and all of a sudden it just takes off, right? Because we've helped them get in alignment. Rikesh says, you helped me. I'm here. Rikesh, you're a dude, mate. So much respect for you. So Rikesh's company is close to £2 million. So Rikesh has gone from being an employee in a company to having a business that's close to £2 million. That's not pocket change. And he just recently relocated his business as well, so new premises and stuff. He's flying, and he's only like about 11, ain't you, Rikesh? How old are you, mate? About 32, 33? Look at that, amazing. He took the advice, he took the coaching, and look at where he was. And check his interview out, phenomenal. Okay, amazing. Okay, Mindy, do your strategies work in all industries? Yeah. I've got clients in multiple industries. So I coach accountants, I coach lawyers. So I've got people in many different industries. I've got a vast range of industries I work with. Look, the mind's the same, right? We all work with the universal mind. We all work with the same laws. So it doesn't matter what industry you're in. If you follow the system, you're going to get the results. So industry's got nothing to do with it. Everything is the same. Like, it's like saying, like, does gravity work in India? Does it work in China? Does it work in the US? It's universal, right? Hope that answers your question. What if you're not sure what your goal is? Well, you definitely need to work with me, because we really show you how to define your goals and how to really find out what you want, because that's the first thing we do in our coaching, is find out what you want, both in your personal and professional life. So we don't only show you how to set big business goals and achievement, but we show you how to set goals for yourself. Personal goals could be for yourself, your family, your lifestyle, your health, relationships. So we show you how to be happy in both areas, not just on the money side. What's the point of having loads of money, right, when you don't know what you want to do with it? Okay, so you've got to be purpose. Okay, so somebody's applied best thing. Gina, you're amazing. You listen and you follow the steps, and you're amazing, Gina. All right, you're amazing. I love your attitude as well. Wonderful attitude. Stephanie says, I'm glad watching this live. Powerful. Thank you. Hey Kai, how you doing? Okay. Marissa. Oh, we've got another champion in the house. Marissa's just enrolled with us today, so she's really, really cool, really excited. So, it's going to be time to wrap up this Q&A today. But here's the thing now. You know, it's come to an end. Now, what happens when the training ends? You'll go back into your routine. You'll go back into your own thought process. You'll forget what I've taught you. You might remember, but you can't apply. Time will go by and you'll begin to get frustrated. And the results won't change. You might see some minor shifts, but before you know it, you're back at your default setting. And then you think, oh, I've got to do this again. And another 6 months, you're still in the same place. Now, on the other hand, you can make a decision and say, look, I know what Mindy's telling me is the real thing. I've seen his clients, I've seen the results that he's getting for himself and his clients. And I want these kind of results for myself and my family. Now, I want you to think about yourself and your family. What would life be like if you took action today? You filled out an application form to work with me. You made a decision that you're going to work with me. Forget the cost. Forget the time that you have to put into it. You made a real decision that you're going to make it happen. Just imagine yourself with those results like Saj had, like Mike had, like other people have had, like Rakesh has had, like Peter's had, like Paul has had, loads of people. How would life be different? How would Christmas be? How would New Year be? How would your summer holidays be? What kind of a home could you live in? This isn't just fantasy. I want you to really think about it. Because you made a decision that you're going to change you. I made that decision myself, that I was going to change me so I can give my family more. I knew that, you know, if I wanted to do it, nobody on the outside is going to come and do it for me. No one can do my own push-ups for me. No one can put the work in for me. I have to do the work. Just imagine if you were the person that took action and you were able to live a life beyond your wildest dreams in a very short space of time. I want you to think about that, because people live some amazing lifestyles. I was in Mayfair earlier on. I was like seeing all this wonderful wealth, the lovely cars and stuff. And something that really touched me was like, there's one thing different between somebody driving a lavish car, huge business, and someone who's really struggling to make ends meet. And that is their mindset. That's their paradigms. That's the only one different thing, because they have the same mental faculties. They can all hear, see, smell, taste, touch. They all have higher mental faculties. They have imagination, which people don't know how to use. Your will, your intuition, your reasoning factor, right? So we show you how to use this. So I want to really encourage you, if you haven't already decided to fill in the application, or maybe you started filling the application and you pulled away, well, maybe I'll just work things out. Maybe I just keep on trying my way. Something will show up. It won't show up, because I'm saving you time, because I've been there. So if that was you, fill that application form in, because I've got some phenomenal bonuses that I'm giving away, right? And they end very soon on the 10th of September. But we don't want to be waiting until the 10th of September. If you really want to, if you want to be one of those people that I interview and you're telling your story, where you were and how quick your business shot up, that could be you. So I really want to encourage you to, whether you're watching this live, hit live or replay, put live or replay. But even if you're watching this on the replay and you want more, you want to become more, I'll strongly suggest that you fill in the application form, get on a call, and let's see what life has to offer for you. When you take control of yourself, if you believe in God or the universe, we can pray all we want. But God isn't going to just bring everything to us. There's a 50, or the universe, there's a 50-50 deal. You got to show up, the universal God shows up the other 50%. But if you're not moving forward yourself, why should the universe or God move towards you when you're not putting any effort into it? We have to show up. We have to show up every single day. We have to raise our standards. So are you ready to raise your standards? Are you ready to say enough is enough? I'm going to go for it, for me, my family, and I'm going to be the game changer. So look, I want to thank you all for spending the time with me this week, watching on lives and replays, and your lovely contribution and your messages. So let's make it happen. Life can be beautiful, all right? So on that note, we're gonna end this Q&A now, and I'm really looking forward to helping you on your journey. Yes, I'm talking to you. You're looking at the camera. Yes, you. I believe in you. I believe in you. So let's get your belief up there and let's make it happen for you, right? Let's help you skyrocket your results. So anyway, have a an awesome weekend. Stay safe and write down, go back to your goal that you said in lesson 1 that you wanted, or session 1, and revisit that goal and ask yourself, am I able and am I ready and willing to make this happen? And if you are ready and you want that goal, fill in the call and let's make it roll. That's like a little rap going on there. Right, so anyway, ladies and gentlemen, have a fantastic day. God bless you all.